Hello and welcome everyone to the new season. We are finally here. We are finally in 2020. I'm here joined once again by Flintstone. Say hi.
Hello, hello.
And we are going to be talking about everything going into the new season. Free agency signings, draft, just outlooks on the year. More than likely going to be making our predictions.
Going team by team.
Yeah,
or division by division, I should say, actually.
Yeah, division by division. And we're going to kind of start team by team, then give predictions for where we think people are going to fall, and just go from there. So I'm going to go by the Daddy Leagues. We're going to start top left, going to bottom right. So we're going to start with both East divisions. We're going to start first with the Buffalo Bills. They're on top for me. And this was a team that really buffed up a lot in the offseason.
Yes.
I
could have gone more aggressive, but I decided not to blow my load on players like Indomitius and destroy my cap space for the next couple of years. So I still got a lot of cap for. So my window is really this year and next year.
Yeah, you're still on 31 yards, 31 mil in salary, but big signings. It's not going to say it down here in the latest transactions because, you know, it shows everyone that got drafted.
Yeah. The, let's see, my biggest signings were Marvin Jones and then J.C. Treader, a center.
J.C. Treader, the center, that was a pretty big one, 79 overall center.
Mm-hmm.
Beefs you up there. Didn't want to blow your load on Hudson, the 32-year-old that's going to regress this year.
Yeah.
And on, because there is no way to stop regression of O-linemen. Remember that.
Uh-huh.
So
I got 2 years of Treader before he starts to regress, so.
Yeah, and you got him on a 3-year deal, didn't you?
Yes.
You got him on a 3-year deal. He's 29, so you get him for his 29, 30, 31. Now, he will regress the year after. He'll be gone by the time he regresses.
Mm-hmm.
You also got Alex Collins, which, in the grand scheme of things, isn't going to be huge.
Oh, no, Alex Collins I signed last year.
Oh, Alex Collins was the last year signing. Also, in the draft, Najee Harris and Jonathan Taylor. Najee, great power back, in my opinion. Really good pickup there. And then Jonathan Taylor, the star development, that is more than likely going to play a little bit more of a role.
Mm-hmm.
As I can see him being a more versatile guy. A little bit faster. Probably got a few better moves.
Yeah, I'm not sure who I'm gonna start. We'll see who I like more. Especially, I played around with both of them in my first preseason game. Probably gonna be Taylor just because that development, but we'll see.
More than likely, I see it being more of a three-headed monster, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Then, let's see. Obviously, you still have Sterling Shepard. Pick up Marvin Jones in the offseason. Wide receiver that not many people were really going for. So, pretty good sneak pick there. He may not be just an outstanding, like, oh my god, he's amazing kind of guy, but he's there. He's still a good guy. Same goes for Rashard Matthews, who you had last year, and I believe that's really about it. No, Malik Jackson. You picked up Malik Jackson in free agency, didn't you? Oh, cut off. Uh-oh.
Oh, defensive tackle, right?
Yeah, there you are. Defensive tackle Malik Jackson. You did pick him up in free agency, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was gonna go for Sheldon Rankins. That was a fifth-year option that didn't work out, so, you know.
Yeah. It's alright.
Anyways, moving on to the next team, the Dolphins.
Ludes. Alright. For me, it was the Jets, but we'll go with the Dolphins. Dolphins, this is a team that's taking a step back in a huge way this year.
Oh, yeah, he blew everything up.
He did. I'm hearing myself, sorry. He did everything to just kill this roster that he possibly could have.
Yeah.
God damn it! I hear myself.
He cut like everyone. So.
Yeah. You cut your quarterback. You cut your number 1 wide receiver. You trade away your number 2 wide receiver to draft Kyler Murray.
For some reason, he signed Nelson Aguilar, though. Don't know why that happened. But
yeah, it did sign Nelson Aguilar. I mean, not a bad signing for a team that desperately needs a wide receiver.
I guess, but like he put himself in that position. So why go and spend a ton of money on a wide receiver when you had cheaper contracts that you cut for guys that were arguably just as good?
Not quite sure the thinking there. But Nelson Aguilar comes in, not amazing, not like a huge step up, mainly just money not very well spent when you could have just kept Stills or Parker.
And another thing that me and the Jets user were like celebrating when he did this is he took Kyler Murray
over Tua Tagovailoa.
Yes, over Tua. We were celebrating that. Yeah.
Tua was there, and he decided to go Kyler Murray, which you would think, oh, Kyler Murray, like, yeah, he's gonna be a star. 73 short. 73 short.
Just
that's what you're hating.
Just take a look at my my playthrough with Kyler Murray, and you'll see why we were celebrating.
Yeah, watch either Flynn play with him or watch TFG struggle with him, because Marcus has him in his realistic Miami Dolphins rebuild, and it's a struggle bus. That 73 short accuracy is detrimental.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And that 76 mid, while it's a bit of a step up, it's not great, and you're going to miss most of your checkdowns, you're going to miss a lot of your slants, and basically you're going to wait for people to get 15, 20 yards down the field before you throw it.
Which isn't really sustainable.
Which definitely isn't sustainable with the line you've got. Especially at right guard. Oof. That's 68 overall right guard. And then not sure what he has on defense. Not a lot.
He didn't really add many pieces.
He didn't, and he let a lot go. He's got 4 defensive tackles, 1 right end, 2 left ends. Is he a 3-4?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, that makes more sense. Still, you only have 1 right outside linebacker, 2 left outside. I don't know. No edge. No edge there. And then the secondary is just about the same as it always has been. So, big step back, in my opinion, for Miami. I think they're a contender to be dead last in the AFC East. I'm gonna go ahead and say that now.
Yeah, I don't know. If I didn't have so much faith in Carlos as a user, I would pen him just because he has such a bad quarterback situation. But
he's a bad quarterback, but everything around him is so good. I feel like this. Even though I did just click on the Jets, let's go ahead and look at the New England Patriots.
I feel like that's a good segue into the Patriots.
Yeah, it's while you think Greer's not the answer, and more than likely Greer might not be the answer, you still have a pretty good line covering him, and Greer, he's not going to throw it.
Well,
Greer's not
what we got to talk about is what they did in the draft, because they passed on Jake Fromm, who is probably the next generational quarterback, and they decided to ride it out with Will Greer. Granted, they got a boatload of picks, but
a ton for the future. So
that's not going to matter if you can't find a quarterback.
But I'm thinking long term there, I believe. So could be a good thing, could be a bad thing.
He made a lot of his signings though to win now. Like Ndamukong Suh, that's a 1-year contract.
Yeah.
I don't know. AJ Green also on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, AJ Green on a 1-year deal brings him in. Him, David Sills, and Kenny Stills, who just got released from Miami to be signed. Like that's 3 really good receivers right there. 3 very, very good receivers. And this defense probably about the same as they always have been. I mean, the only pieces you really added, you added Ndamukong Suh, and you added Vic Beasley I don't think there was much. Well, Keanu Neal in the back end, who's going to be a star like he always has been. But other than those three, you didn't really buff up the defense. You mainly focused on your offense, who I guess giving a few more weapons for Greer is going to be better. So maybe you can develop him. I think this is one that's really up in the air. This is one that
he's probably going to be able to hang in there, but he's not going to win a lot of games.
I think this is a situation. I want to take the real life counterpart to this. Don't count out the Patriots. You can never count out the Patriots.
Carlos is no Bill Belichick.
I mean, true, but Carlos did take a Cleveland Browns team to an 8-1 start before he had to back out.
Yeah, with a good quarterback and a good O-line and good weapons and a good defense.
Other than the O-line, the New England other than the QB, Patriots have that.
I don't know. Greer's just, I don't think you understand how bad he is. Like, again, I played him twice last season. He was just, I know it was booth-usering him.
This was Booth.
I know it was booth-usering him.
Who threw it a lot to users. I saw him throw dead at my user every time that he played me. He would challenge the user.
I get that, but he missed a lot of throws. He missed a lot of throws when we played. That's all I'm gonna say. He was pretty bad.
It could be. I think it's a toss-up. Maybe the Patriots do good. Maybe the Patriots don't do good. Maybe I eat my words on the fact that I think the Patriots really could have a good year. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look on to
moving on to the last team in the AFC.
And the New York Jets, who did some real beefing up.
Yeah.
They got Whitney Merciless. They got... Oh, you did let Tremaine go.
Who?
Or was that...
He didn't let Tremaine Johnson go.
I was saying... Fuck. I was thinking someone else. Sorry. Your highest overall second guy, though, is Case Keenum. I'm not quite sure why you pay a...
Most expensive. Second most expensive.
Second most expensive, sorry, is Keenum. Not quite sure why you go with the Nick Foles move there, but...
I don't know, in case Darnold goes down, I guess.
I guess. And then... It seemed like a lot of their draft was... Or, well, not their draft, but... They did a lot to make sure that they had plenty of depth in the offseason going into the new season at the line. Got like 9 tackles on this team, 5 guards, 2 centers. Like,
it's gonna have a lot of cutting to do.
Yeah. And obviously you still have Darnold at the helm, who is a very good quarterback. I don't think
this team is going to be kind of one to watch out for. This is serious breakout potential. The only question I have is the O-line, because he's got a good right tackle, but
he's got a good right tackle. He's got a good center who's going to be good for 1 year.
But that's about it.
Who's going to be good for 1 year. Let me go ahead and reiterate that. He's 32.
His right guard's a 72. His left guard's a 74. His left tackle's a 71. Like, that's probably his one biggest hole that could hold him back. But again, he carried this team to the playoffs with last year with an even worse roster. So we'll see.
Yeah. Running back stays about the same. You do get Elijah Holyfield, so that's at least a good second to third option, depending on whether you like McKissick or McGuire. Enunwa, who is going to be great. He's already said that he's going to try and kind of scheme him around instead of just playing him only number 1.
He also said something about Enunwa maybe being on the block going into the season.
Yeah, I mean, you did just draft... I can't say that name. Laviska. I can't say the last name. Chenault.
Laviska Chenault?
Okay.
Yeah, Chenault.
You did just draft Chenault, so you've got a younger number 1, and is Enunwa in his last year? Nunez in year 3.
I believe so, yes.
Enunwa has a lot of years left on his contract. After this year,
he must have gotten extended then.
Yeah, he got extended by
at some point.
the other guy, the other user. So maybe not amazing receivers, but still definitely good receivers. I don't think anyone can
Yeah,
deny
Caleb
that.
Wilson too at tight end.
Yeah, you got Caleb Wilson. Then defensively, this is still going to be a good defense. You
Well,
also
yeah,
have
the,
Whitney
the defensive
Merciless.
line doesn't have much depth, though, is the one concern I have about the D line. He's got Whitney Merciless, Leonard Williams, and Henry
Yeah.
Anderson, but there's not much behind those three.
Yeah, Shepard's not bad as far as IDLs go, but you've basically got one really good backup, and then you've got Stanley's not a bad edge rusher. Neither is Okafor.
He did switch to a 4-3, by the way, because he's
Yes.
running the Bills playbook.
Yes, he did switch
So
to a
that's-
4-3. So some of those edge rushers, maybe they aren't absolutely like in your face amazing. Still good. And then did he get Zach Vigil in free agency, or was that someone he already had?
Who?
Zach
Okay,
Vigil. Zach Vigil.
I don't know.
Nah, that's someone he already had. I didn't recognize the name.
Yeah, the linebacker core is really good.
Yeah.
Actually, not. Actually, it's not really good, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. Kyle
Like-
Benoit, Avery Williams, and Zach Vigil, and then basically your number one backup is Mark Barron. Mark Barron's going to be backing up whichever side is going to be there. Having Mark Barron as your backup is definitely a good thing. And then secondary, Tremaine, Joe Hayden.
Right now it's good, but this is a position to worry about because
Yeah,
your three best corners are on the wrong side of 30.
yeah, this is
So-
a very win now secondary. So
Yeah,
I mean, you do
I don't
have
know.
Chris Boyd and David Long, and I'm pretty sure Chris Boyd has a very good dev trait. I'm pretty sure he's either quick or star, because I remember changing him. You still have Jamal Adams.
Well, Jamal, yeah, great safety.
You still have Jamal Adams.
Chris Boyd has quick.
And then Calhoun. Calhoun may not be the best free safety in the game, but he's still a very viable free safety.
All right, that wraps up the AFC East.
That's
Let's
the AFC East, so
let's actually stick with the AFC, so we can just do our AFC playoff predictions, and then we will switch over to the NFC.
I do want to go ahead and get predictions for the AFC East. You personally being in the
Well,
AFC East.
I feel it. No, let's I feel like we should save playoff predictions till the till we do all the till we'll do all the AFC, and then we'll do the AFC playoff predictions and such.
Alright, let's start off with the AFC West. The reigning AFC West champions right now, the Denver Broncos.
AFC champions, actually.
Yeah, reigning AFC champions. Two-time AFC champions. And this is a team that they didn't make huge moves in the offseason. I don't really... I mean, you traded for Devin Funches, so there is that. Deshaun Hamilton now plays in the slot. You did get rid of DT88, but Cortland Sutton, you trust in Cortland Sutton at this point, in my opinion.
Cortland Sutton was a monster last year.
Yeah, trust in
He
Cortland
racked
Sutton.
up like 1,500 yards, I think, something like.
The only thing that could have made this team better was if you kept Tim Patrick. If you don't have him on the practice squad, I think that this team is just amazing at this point.
Instead, Tim Patrick goes to Seahawks and has an absolutely amazing year.
And then your tight ends, all three of your tight ends are really good. Jake Butt, Troy, Everett, like all three of these. Maybe they're
I
not.
wouldn't say they're really good. I mean, they're all solid tight
They're
ends.
not amazing,
He has good depth.
but this is a team that, let's say Jake Butt goes down, someone's right there to take his place, and it's not like it's a huge drop off. And defensive line,
Yeah, like I said, great depth.
D-line is going to be as amazing as it always has been. Vaughn and Chubb setting the
Bradley
edge.
Chubb, who's at 90 overall now. Jesus.
Yeah, with with Wolf on the interior, he's going to be a monster in the interior still. And I think Adam really could be good. He's not really the worst. You just don't. The only problem is you don't really have a whole lot of depth here. You still got solid guys backing up the edge.
Yeah,
but the
you
drop
don't really
off.
need depth though when you have both Von Miller and Bradley Chubb as your edge rushers. You don't really have an issue.
I mean, you think that, but you can still tell the drop off between. Like, look at.
Also, wait. Why is Von Miller in end and not
It's
a
4-3.
He switched to a 4-3? That
Yes.
He does not have enough defensive tackles for a 4-3.
I told you that.
You should have more than.
That's why I said depth.
Yeah.
Depth
He
is a
needs
problem.
defensive tackles because
And
one
you
of
know-
those defensive tackles goes down and you're in trouble.
Well, I mean, even then, look at last year. Von Miller goes down for right before the Super Bowl, and it's just you think, oh yeah, that backup's he's solid. He's not Von Miller though. You get used to playing with that setting the edge power that Von Miller has, and it's just so noticeable when you go from that to DeMarcus Walker. So you've still got Chubb, but not really an amazing guy there to take his place.
I mean, like, I trust this pass rush with the Broncos, so
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah.
And then linebackers, just kind of mediocre at linebacker. It's nothing like, wow, look who he got. I mean, Shaquille Barrett. Nah. Brandon Marshall's still there. He's not an amazing.
Yeah. A lot of
Linebacker,
the
still
old
good.
pieces still here. He hasn't really done much to change this defense up.
Yeah. And then the secondary still, in my opinion, this secondary is as good as it always has been.
Yeah, Chris Harris, Bradley Roby.
Harris,
Good
Roby,
slot corners too, and Trey Waynes.
Yeah, Justin Simmons still there at safety, and to Cravens. Like, I think you trust this defense just the same, and I think this offense just got even better. The only possible downside to this team could be injuries. They have to stay healthy on defense, because there's not a ton of depth there minus the secondary. The secondary has depth, but if you look outside the secondary, not a ton of depth there.
Mm-hmm.
Not a ton of depth in that front seven. So, I think it's still a very good team. Don't think you can really count out the Broncos. And moving on.
Oh yeah, they're probably. I mean, a lot of teams saying they won't repeat, but like they're probably the favorites to repeat, at least in the AFC.
Yeah. And moving on to Kansas
The
City.
Chiefs. Yeah.
The out of nowhere from last year.
Yeah, started 4-0 or 0-4. I mean,
0-4 to finish.
yeah.
As a one-loss team, basically, in that final stretch. Here, you still got a pretty good line. You don't have an amazing line, but it's a doable line, in my opinion. That left side's a little bit weak, but the right side definitely
75 overall left tackle.
70 left guard, but you do have 80s on the right side. You've got a very strong right side.
Yeah.
So, plus you got Patty
Mhm.
Mahomes. You got Patty Mahomes, and you've got Johnny Manziel as your backup. Like, come on.
Johnny Manziel, who lit up the league last year when Mahomes went down.
Yeah. Kareem Hunt is still here. Nothing really much after Kareem Hunt, which is possibly a big factor if Kareem Hunt can't stay healthy.
Kareem Hunt. I don't think he missed a game yet. And
knock on wood, you might have just announced or cursed it.
I'm fine with that. I don't care.
I mean, yeah.
That hurts him in the wild card race. So doesn't matter to me.
He does trust Benjamin. He does trust Benjamin, but yeah, I don't know.
The 63.
Yeah, that was his big. That's his Moss.
Got it. Okay.
If you don't understand that and you're watching this, wait until we get to Seahawks. Then, my God,
Yeah.
you got wide receivers out the ass. Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Jalen
Oh yeah, loaded
Wims,
weapons. Travis Kelsey
Keel Harry, Travis Kelsey, Jay Stemberg,
and Austin Hooper too.
Austin Hooper. Like, you've got weapons everywhere. Defense, I feel like this is a place where they
Defense,
kind of took a step back. You still have Justin Houston.
D Ford. Yeah, it's the I'm not really that worried about the edge rush.
Yeah.
Still got Chris Jones.
Chris Jones on the interior.
The defensive line is going to be.
Yeah. Linebackers do take a bit of a step back.
Linebackers, yeah,
He does get.
that's
You've got Hitchens, but I'm pretty sure this is still a 3-4.
Yeah, looking at how many people he has at each position, that's got to be a 3.
Don't quote me on that. It might be a 43. But I'm pretty sure he hasn't changed from 34 yet. So, looking at that, if we go by that, he's got Hitchens and nobody else. But even then, like, even if he was a 43, you got Deron O'Neal, and that's it on outside linebacker. Your other outside linebacker.
Yeah.
So there's no depth here. If one of these guys goes down,
It's just a really weak core in general, in my opinion.
and this secondary, Kansas City's secondary has always been fairly weak.
It's suspect. I mean, he got DeAndre Baker in the draft a couple years ago, and he got Kendall Fuller, so those are two good young corners. But it's a decent secondary, but nothing to brag about.
Sorry. Eric Berry is about the only thing that you've really got in the secondary, in my opinion. In my own personal opinion. Maybe you disagree, maybe you don't. But personally,
Oh, I mean, I think Kendall Fuller is good. At least in Madden, not in real life anymore, but you know.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, this is going to be a team that's going to have to rely on their offense, in my opinion. If someone just stuffs their offense, I feel like they just hit a brick wall. Speaking of hitting a brick wall, let's go to LA for the first of two times. You want to talk about not having a quarterback? Ryan Tannehill's your starter now.
He let Phillip Rivers walk in free agency.
You got rid of Phillip Rivers for Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. I don't even know. I'm not a good user, great roster, bad user. This team's not going anywhere this year.
Like,
enough said.
Yeah. You think that Will Greer and Jake Fromm is bad? I'm sorry, but that takes the cake to me. And last but not least, probably one of the big winners in the offseason, the Oakland Raiders, who I'm 99% certain are moving to Vegas after this season.
I believe so, yes.
He got oofed out of it last year. He couldn't do it. but that will be coming. Moving on. Donovan Smith. The line took a bit of a step backwards losing Hudson, but not too big. I think it's still a very good core. It's still got a lot of good pieces there. Maybe not as much depth as you would like, but still quite a few good players there. Nothing too bad. Derek Carr's still the starter. So
he's performed well.
Yeah, he's performed well with him. Jordan Howard is your running back.
Yeah, he's done well too.
Done very well.
Back. Still got Amari Cooper, who's a 95 now, at wide receiver.
You've got Amari Cooper. He also got Riley Ridley in the draft.
Yeah. Stanley Morgan. It's great.
Yeah.
Great wide receiver. Great weapons. Got Noah Fant too. Yeah, he's set on offense.
Offense is going to be very good.
On defense, still kind of searching for that edge rush. Cleveland Farrell didn't really impress in his rookie year.
Yeah.
So.
And brought back Bruce Irvin, who I believe was the only person that was really setting an edge for him. And
defensive tackle, still got Maurice Hurst, Justin Ellis.
Yeah. You're good on the interior.
Yeah.
But linebackers, this is a big problem for me. you've got
Yeah, he's got Vontez Perfect and not much else.
like Tahir Whitehead. He's okay. He's not great.
Also on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah, and I think if this team's really gonna go anywhere, you've got to move Jatavis Brown to middle linebacker or Vontez or someone. Like someone else has to play middle linebacker because Nate Hall. I don't trust Nate Hall or Markel Lee to play middle linebacker. And that's just my personal opinion.
I completely agree.
I think if you want it, personally, I think Jatavis Brown has to go there. He's a little bit small, so it's not really what you like, but could perform well. And then the secondary, not the most
also pretty weak.
Not the most amazing secondary. You do get Vernon Hargraves, who he might not be amazing, but he's a step up.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a step up, but he is a very big step forward that this team
he's got
needed.
Darian Conley and Hargraves, and that's about it, really. I mean,
you still got Carl Joseph. Like you've got good safeties. You've got Carl Joseph and Lucas Dennis.
Oh yeah.
But at corner, you're kind of relying on lower end guys, which sometimes it can work, and a lot of times it can work. But I feel like what's gonna hurt, the real challenge for this team, at least for these corners, is going to be going up against that Denver offense. Because that Denver offense.
Yeah, and Kansas City.
Denver, you've got to stop Denver and Kansas City, who has a lot of weapons in that passing game. The longevity of this secondary could be tested.
It's it's pretty suspect. That's something he's gonna have to focus on, either like trading for or improving next offseason.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next division.
Yeah, moving into the North, and we start off with Baltimore, who I'm sure that they tried to make some moves. They made some moves after the time, but that's neither here nor there. Nothing really happened out of it. But
one last thing though, apparently I think it's the Jets. Forgot what his actual name. No, it's not the Jets. Chris is the Seahawks.
Chris is the Seahawks. Yes.
Yes. Apparently he was attempting to get Hargraves too.
Yeah.
And Raiders robbed them of it in free agency. So.
Yeah. Raiders was able to get just enough money out of it, but.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyways.
Moving into Baltimore, not a great O-line here. Not a bad O-line. Don't get me wrong. They have some really good pieces. You've got Stanley. You've got Yonda. But
he is starting Lamar Jackson, correct?
Yes,
still?
He is still starting Lamar Jackson, who hasn't really proved to me that he could throw the ball. And
he's very good at running the ball, though. So
he is very good at running the ball. But I do have to reiterate that slow game speed makes running completely different. A hole that in normal game speed would have been 7, 8, 9 yards easy turns into 4 yards on a good day.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very, very different, and I don't think that this 90 speed is going to be as much of a factor as you would think in the past. So I think maybe after a couple weeks, if something's not going right, he at least considers moving back to Joe Flacco.
He's not going to do it, though.
I don't think he pulls the trigger on it, but I think maybe...
And I don't think you should, honestly. At this point, you're committed to Lamar as your starter.
At this point, I think you're at least a season and a half into having...
He started Lamar very quickly. I think it was only like 4 weeks in or something. It's the first season.
No, he tried to do that. It was week 7 or 8 before he was actually able to do it. Then week 12, he went back on his word. Then week 14, he went back.
Yeah, he flip-flopped a lot in that first season with Lamar.
But I think the one good thing is, while you still have Benny Snell, who did great last year for you. You have Benny Snell, you have Trump.
It is a very weak running back room, to be honest.
I think Benny Snell, he's one of your better guys, and he is a very good guy. James White now becoming basically your third down back. Is it an amazing sign? Maybe not, but I do think it's a good sign. This wide receiver room is still very, very, very weak, though. Jalen Scott, Deion Sanders,
not a lot of weapons for Lamar Jackson.
Harmon. Like, that's it as far as receivers go.
Very, very weak in the tight end room, too. He's got Hayden Hurst and Mark Andrews, who are okay, but...
I mean, this is a team that plays a lot out of not... they don't play under center all that much, which you wouldn't expect to do with Lamar as your quarterback, so I think only having 2 tight ends, perfectly fine. Most of your sets are going to be 1 tight end, at most 2. So I think only having 2 that are like that, not really a big deal to me. Now, where this team shines, on the other hand, on defense.
Defense, yes. Baltimore has always had a good defense.
Michael Brockers has been brought in to play left end.
Very, very needed boost to this pass rush because I think a lot of he let his older guys go.
Yeah, Suggs left last year, or the year before last, sorry, and then you just kind of felt that Suggs wasn't there. It was very obvious that he didn't really have that edge rush that he had with him. So Michael Brockers coming in, very good move. After that, though,
this interior D line is very good, though.
After that, on the edge, though,
Brandon Williams, Michael Pierce.
Yeah, I mean Bowser's not bad, but maybe not exactly what you want. I think you maybe consider going to either. I think you go to Terrell Lewis this year on that right end. If you're me, at least. You at least consider going to Terrell Lewis on that end.
I don't know. Well,
see about using the younger guy.
Maybe put him up on right end instead.
Yeah.
We'll see. And then, linebacker, he's got C.J. Mosley. Patrick.
Mosley, who is, we have to reiterate, he's been phenomenal with C.J. Mosley.
Yeah.
That's his user. That's his user linebacker who has always hit the stat cap for INTs, mainly because people just challenge it. But
yeah, I mean, and you mostly run nickel sets, so he's set really because he's got Patrick Owuzie or I don't know how to pronounce that.
That is not Owuzie. Owuzie is on the Cowboys. That's Onwuster, maybe?
Yeah.
We're butchering this name. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I normally can get the names, but
Tim Williams, I can say that name. And then moving on to secondary, the secondaries where they shine, in my own personal opinion. Marlon Humphreys is great.
Yeah.
Lucas, I believe, more than likely is going to be playing your 2, either Lucas or Averett 1.
Yeah, he really needs a second corner.
I think Lucas and Averett can play. Averett's honestly not a bad corner. He's not.
Yeah, they're
amazing. No, but
they're okay.
Yeah. And then Tavon Young in the slot.
Fine for the season.
Tavon Young in the slot, though, is you're set in the slot. Like a 77.
Yeah.
A 77 with 91 speed playing in the slot works perfectly fine.
Something that he definitely does need to address, though, eventually, is the free safety. His best free safety is a 71.
Yeah, you're really.
I mean, you said strong safety because you got Tony Jefferson, yeah. But
this is a team that I think, unless Lamar Jackson just comes out and wows us, I just don't see.
Yeah, they have a tough division too, so.
I don't see that you can really just rely solely on your defense in this division. Because moving on to next, the team that really should be reigning in this division, but things happened. A team that has really come on strong, Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
That offense is loaded right now. They've got a great line. Tonyo, you draft Prince Tiga. You've got Zeitler.
He's really got a hole at center, though. That's the one issue. He let
You let
Treader
JC
walk in free agency.
Yeah.
What? Sorry?
Yeah, you let Treader walk, but I think everything around it is good enough to where mainly your center is double teaming a defensive tackle, so it's not a huge hole. The only problem is that he is going to be covering a blitz. So if it's a blitz, yeah, that's gonna be a little bit tougher. But you still have Baker Mayfield, so
true. Like he's got really good guards. He's got a decent right tackle. We've just traded for, I believe. So,
got Baker Mayfield.
It's an above average line.
Yeah, you got Baker Mayfield. You got Nick Chubb, Carlos Hyde, who I believe he's trying to ship out right now, but for the time, Carlos Hyde's still very good. Kerryon Johnson, who he picks up in the offseason. You still have Jarvis Landry, Josh Gordon, Callaway.
Great weapons.
Allison.
David Njoku. Yeah. On the defensive line, you still got Myles Garrett. Mohamed Wilkerson. Who should be a defensive tackle, actually, in a 4-3, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's an edge guy.
Yeah, I don't know. He needs to sign more D-line guys. He's only got 3 defensive tackles.
Let me check. What's his... oh, yeah, 315. Yeah, move him to D-tackle, dude. He's not an edge rusher.
His overall will go up, too, if you move him to D-tackle. Which, actually, you kind of need.
You need to, because Dexter is the only person that you have at D-tackle.
Because then you've really got depth guys and developmental. Not much. In linebackers, he's got Leonard Floyd. He's really set at linebacker. He's got Emmanuel Ogbah, Christian Kirksey, and you really only need 2 good linebackers in the 4-3. So
yeah,
he's set there.
Then you move to secondary.
Denzel Ward,
Carey, Gaines.
He brought back EJ Gaines for a ludicrous amount of money last offseason.
Yeah, not this past offseason, the one before that.
Well, one before that, yes.
Incredible amount of money. Let me just go ahead and show you this. 27 mil.
Yes, for a slot corner.
Cap. It doesn't take
he might be watching
right now.
And he'll defend that contract to his dying breath, but it was that mistake.
Then you got Jabril Peppers in the back end. You got Jordan Fuller. This secondary is set. I think this is the best all-around team in the North.
Probably, yeah.
In my personal opinion.
In the AFC North, definitely.
Yeah. Although, after all these offseason moves, our next team, Cincy, just a few miles away,
made a lot of interesting moves.
Made a lot of interesting moves. Made some good moves, though.
New user, too, Liam.
Yeah. Mainly at quarterback, you cannot deny Phillip Rivers is an amazing upgrade from
Andy Dalton.
Getting rid of him.
Did he bring him in on just a 1-year deal?
Let's check.
Yes. Phillip Rivers pulling a good old Brett Favre on us?
He is pulling a nice Brett Favre on us right now, going to Cincinnati. 1-year deal. So, I think if he does good, maybe you see him again.
When we take a look at this line, he's got a decent line, solid, a decent left tackle, decent guard, decent center too.
Right tackle.
Right tackle is an issue though.
A little bit of an issue. I don't think you're too worried about it because it's not your blind side. I'd be a lot more worried about it if it's blind side. But his blocking stats are still good. I think the worst thing is that 54 awareness is what's cutting it down. So I think it's not too much to worry about right now. It's at least doable for the time being.
Then a quarterback.
Phillip
Rivers, he brought back AJ McCarron. After his failed little attempt at being a starter in the league.
I considered bringing him in as a backup, but it was going to be too much money.
Then running back Joe Mixon, obviously. Darrell Henderson brought in to be the backup. He's a rookie? I believe he's a rookie.
At the age of 21, I should hope so.
Then we go to edge. Well, this D-line is just amazing. Carlos Dunlap, Carl Lawson, Geno Atkins. It's just disgusting.
I think the only problem that you really have, John Ross is still your best receiver, personally, in my own personal opinion. Has he got great speed? Yes. 98 speed.
Yeah,
Great.
I mean, he developed well in this league because he's very easy to develop in Madden.
True, but like his catching stats still aren't. They don't scream #1. Is the problem. You still a #1. You need more than 83 spec. You need more than 82 catching traffic. You need more than 85 catching. Is it a bad receiving core? No. I think it's still
It's
fairly
definitely
decent.
above average.
Yeah, it's above average.
You still got Tyler Eifert on the roster as well.
And you get Marquise Brown in the draft, who he's not the most amazing guy, but I think he's a very good slot guy.
And Robbie Anderson too, to be a solid #2 receiver.
Yeah. So
you know.
Yeah.
Decent receiving, decent weapons, and when you have Phillip Rivers as your quarterback, you don't need amazing weapons.
True, but even Phillip Rivers had Keenan Allen, so I think you at least would have liked to see, having AJ Green still. But,
apparently, we made a mistake. The Browns are
Browns are a 3-4?
Which confuses me even more, because Myles Garrett is not an end in a 3-4.
Myles Garrett as an end is not right then.
There's a lot of positions he needs to change if this is a 3-4.
Yeah, if that's a 3-4, you've got a lot of fixing to do.
Myles Garrett is an outside linebacker in a 3-4.
Is Ogunjobi as well? Or no? I don't think Ogunjobi is.
Emmanuel Ogbah is not an edge rusher.
No.
And he's your starting right edge.
Yeah.
Leonard Floyd is not an edge either, I believe, right?
No.
Yeah. So those are probably so high overalls because those are like coverage stats, not edge rushing stats. So
yeah.
But anyways,
if you're a 3-4, you've got a lot of fixing to do with your roster right now.
Yeah.
Because your positions are not correct. Fix them. But anyway, back to where we were. Going to defense in Cincinnati. Great line. You've got a great defensive line. Carlos Dunlap, Carl Lawson, Geno Atkins. I don't see a downside to this line. Oh, you're not there. Hello?
Sorry, telling him to actually message me in the chat and not spam me on Discord.
You're good.
What were you saying?
Going back to Cincinnati, great defensive line, obviously.
Yeah, it's absolutely stacked.
Yeah.
I wish I could have this D-line.
I don't think there's really much else to say. This is an amazing.
Yeah, I mean, Carlos Dunlap and Geno Atkins are getting old, but who cares when they're 95 and 85?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then,
linebacking core, on the other hand, this is the weakness.
Yeah, linebackers, they're not terrible, but they're not great.
He's got Preston Brown.
Yeah.
Preston Brown is pretty bad.
Yeah. You're relying a lot on Troy Dye and Joe Schobert.
Yeah. Is Dye a rookie? He's 22, so I would assume.
I'm fairly certain.
Yeah. So maybe.
That's a rookie.
Yeah, he'll probably move him over the middle linebacker at some point.
Yeah. Then defensive backs. They're not
William
terrible.
Jackson. How did he get on the? 1 second.
William Jackson is there. Denzel Denard.
Dang.
Fulton, Anthony
Not
Brown.
Yeah, this is pretty good secondary.
Yeah, good secondary.
You're probably gonna have to get a corner behind William Jackson though, because I don't know if those guys are gonna be any good. We'll see if they develop.
Yeah, I think Fulton really could develop. I think Fulton has a good chance of developing. Then, Brown and Denard are going to be playing slot and nickel, in my opinion.
Probably. Yeah.
So this is a team. Originally,
Definitely in win now.
Yeah, before the offseason, I was thinking this team probably takes a step back. I think they have a chance to at least still compete.
Yeah, I mean the AFC, and especially the AFC North, is very good. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then moving over to Pittsburgh.
New user again.
Yeah, another new user. Line.
Big Ben is still here.
Yeah, line. Trash. There's nothing around it. Like Villanueva and.
What the hell happened to this offensive line? It was such a good offensive line. Like
Villanueva and Pouncey are about it. I probably said that wrong, but that's
no,
about
you
it.
got it.
Well, actually,
you got it right.
I saw that right guard. I just now saw the right guard.
David DeCastro, yeah.
Yeah, David DeCastro
he has.
still there.
He needs a left guard and a right tackle desperately though.
Yeah, right hand tackle big time. Then you do still have Big Ben. You still have Le'Veon, who is actually on the block, so more than likely going to be moving down to Connor, who's not a big step down, but he's still a good guy.
At edge, you got Cameron Hayward.
Yeah. And you still have the wide receiver. You still have Antonio Brown, Juju.
Oh yeah, sorry. The killer bees are still at work. Yeah. Because there's no drama in Madden.
Yeah. I think the offense probably still stays very good. Defense, Cameron Hayward is on the wrong side of 30, but he's 85 still, so I think you still trust him. Then.
Oh yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Good Derek Brown too. Yeah. Decent interior D line.
Yeah.
Pretty
good D line.
At linebacker though, outside TJ Watt, this is a big liability.
Yeah.
There's not much here outside of TJ Watt.
Yeah, Bud Dupree is okay. TJ Edwards is okay.
I wouldn't even say that. Like they're, I struggle to say they're decent.
Yeah.
They're.
However, D-backs still.
Patrick Peterson. I still can't believe we let this trade go through. It was so terrible.
Not have gone through, but you know, Patrick Peterson ends up on the Steelers.
Yeah, there was a trade in the first season.
Basically, the only cornerback. You've got good depth there. That's the one.
Yeah, Artie Burns is a solid corner, but
you've got good depth. I mean, Mike Hilton is going to be one of the better slot corners, though.
Mm-hmm.
And Artie Burns, I think, can at least keep up. Like, he's no Patrick Peterson, but he's still a very good corner. And then
safety's an issue. Both safety positions.
Yeah, both safeties are. Well, no, I think Terrell Evans is fine. 77 at the age of 23. You're going to develop, more than likely. I believe this is also a first year. Maybe I'm wrong on that. No.
Terrell Evans? No, this is his third season.
I am.
Third season.
Don't mind me.
Like he's going into his third season.
Yeah, he's going into his third season, so maybe more of an issue than I thought originally.
Yeah. Jermaine Edmonds' brother.
Yeah, Morgan Burnett is a big issue though. The wrong side of 30.
Yeah.
And so I think this is our division of death this year. Last year it was the AFC West. I think this year West and the North are going to be big contenders, but also don't count out the AFC South.
AFC South, especially with that whole the Dax is the Colts user again.
We start off with.
There's gonna be some really good teams that don't make the playoffs in the AFC this year.
The return of Dax Master to the Colts, who inherits.
He definitely wins that division.
Inherits a team that kind of took a step backwards as far as like regression is concerned.
Kind of. They went from playoff contenders to top 5
roster-wise. Roster-wise.
Oh, roster-wise.
Not too much of a step backwards. Your line is still very good. I think the last user might have done something to blow it up. But
I have no idea what the last user did.
Me neither.
I mean, he's still good. You got Anthony Costanzo, Quentin Nelson, who's a 92,
Nelson, you've got
Ryan Kelly, Braden Smith.
You're fine at line.
Yeah, he's fine.
And you picked up Cameron Fleming, not last year, but the year before. That was the one thing that CPU did this for him, but it was a good move, because the Cowboys let him go because, Lyle Collins is there. You don't really need Fleming, and it would have been much too much money to bring him back in.
Then at quarterback, you got Andrew Luck. Not much to say there. Jacoby Brissett, still the backup.
Yeah, in the event that Luck gets hurt, Brissett's a great backup. Brissett's you could do a lot worse at backup than Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. He's better than some starters.
Yeah.
Then we go to running back.
Running back.
He brought Spencer Ware in, so
yeah,
not bad. Still got T.Y. Hilton at wide receiver too. Randall Cobb behind him, but after that, not much.
After that, yeah, maybe not amazing there, but I think you could still make some fireworks. I mean, this is Andrew Luck.
It is Andrew Luck. Yeah. Jack Doyle, tight end, pretty good.
Defense, maybe a little bit more of a concern. My God, the amount of defensive linemen that he has.
Jeez. None of them are particularly good.
None of them are amazing.
The edge rush is definitely a concern.
None of them are amazing, but it does mean very good depth. It's not like you have superstars here, but I don't think you really necessarily have to have superstars. You can do it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
This looks like a team.
You need a number one edge rusher, though.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to hold him back if you can't get a number one edge rusher.
Number one edge rushers in anything, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's doing the best that he could have. Linebacker.
Not much of defensive tackle either.
Linebacker, though, you do have Darius Leonard still.
Of course, that man's a beast, but
yeah.
kind of like the Steelers, there's not much outside of that because Trey Lamar did not really develop, really. Granted, he's still 73, and I think that's what he starts at.
Yeah, granted, I mean, I think a year under Dax, we see Trey Lamar develop.
Yeah, true. We'll see, though.
What's his development trait? Quick? Yeah, I think we see him develop. Then, corner, you got Ken, you got Jamar Taylor, you got Quincy Williams.
Yeah, it's a decent secondary. Nothing to brag about.
Not the most amazing secondary. You still have Malik Hooker, though.
Yeah.
It's Malik Hooker. That's...
Mateus Farley is a pretty decent safety, too.
Yeah. You got good back end. Corner, maybe they're not the most amazing guys there, but I think they can get the job done. And moving on after that,
Houston.
Into the other Texas team, Houston Texans. We'd start off with a line, which is not great.
Oh wow, it's a lot worse than I thought it was going to be.
It's terrible.
His best lineman is a 76.
Yeah, Zach Fulton is your best guard, and on the other side you've got...
His tackles are bad. His best...
It's not good.
Left starting left guard is 68. Oh, yeah.
It is not good here. You don't have Deshaun Watson. I mean, slight good. But if you're running for your life, it's not really
decent weapons, too, I guess. He's got DeAndre Hopkins, Bryce Love, Will Fuller.
Hopkins, nothing much of tight end, but I guess you don't really run a ton of tight ends, so I guess you can get away with it. And then
the line is
defense is still as
really
good as it always have been.
Javian Clowney. Wait, what's going on here?
Moved to 4-3.
Why is Javian Clowney at 4-3? Did he?
But JJ Watt.
JJ Watt. Yeah, shouldn't JJ Watt be a defensive tackle in the fourth?
No. Watt needs to be a D tackle there. But I don't know. I think this is still going to be a very good defense. Yeah, you do lose Whitney Merciless, but you brought in quite a few weapons at corner. You got Hamp Cheevers, you got Brian Peavy. You still got the Honey Badger.
Yeah, defense is pretty good. Really, the only major issue right here is the offensive line, but that's a
Yeah.
really, really big issue.
It's really gonna, and to be fair, one of your biggest competitors doesn't have a great D line, so maybe you can get away with it.
So what? That's only 2 out of your 16 games a year.
True.
You gotta
You
face
have
the
to.
Titans and the Jags too, who have great D lines.
Yeah. So
Speaking of which,
speaking of
let's
which,
move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
whoops.
Oh, they're next, and for me, so
Yeah, I had Tennessee for some reason. Let's go ahead and move on to Jacksonville, though. Moving into Saxonville,
their O line is also
O-line also a bit of an issue.
suspect.
You got Linder.
He shipped off his starting left tackle, who was 75 overall, so now his left tackle's a 69.
Yeah.
Ezra Cleveland. Bad guards too. Well, sorry, no, he's got Andrew Norwell. But bad left guard.
Other than left tackle, I think you're okay on the line. Like, the entire right side's
But
fine.
left tackle's arguably the most important position, so I don't know.
I think maybe you flip Van Lanen to left tackle, worst case scenario. And
He might actually be starting there, but just be left listed as a right tackle. We'll see.
And then moving on to quarterback,
The Justin
like
Herbert experiment did not work out apparently
looks like
with
we're gonna be
Jameis Winston.
Herbert because Jameis Winston comes in.
Yeah.
So I think this is another experiment.
Yeah, we'll see how things pan out.
Yeah, I think Herbert is definitely the future. Winston is just a bridge guy until Herbert can really get his NFL legs under him, if you will.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what his plan is.
Yeah.
He said that, yeah, pretty much what we said, by the way, about the Jags O-line. He's having Landon start at left tackle, even though he's listed as right tackle. But anyways, I'm pretty sure he said that Winston is the starter, and down the line he'll reassess things, which is fine. So moving on to the weapons.
You still got Leonard Fournette at running back.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Not much behind him, though.
Yeah, Rodney Anderson is a bit. J.K. Dobbins, though, he does have. He could develop, I think. This is a quick back that we could see do good things.
Yeah. Wide receiver, it's a bunch of decent guys, but no number one.
Yeah. No huge names. You got Marquise Lee. You trade for Martavis Bryant. D.D. Westbrook is still there. And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd's not bad. DJ Chark, he's a decent receiver. He's not amazing.
Yeah.
Same goes for Cordell Patterson.
Pretty bad tight ends, too.
I mean, they're not bad. They're just not standout. Like, Legron and Henry are just kind of... They're not the most amazing guys. But it could be a lot worse. Now, where this team shines on the defense. Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah. Marcel Darius. Good D-line, but a lot of the stars have aged, so not as good of a D-line as it used to be, but still.
Not as amazing, but I think that they still have a good year.
Yeah, especially if you're the Texans.
Yeah. And then Telvin Smith and Miles Jack. There's your two linebackers that you really need. When you come out in a 4-3, Blair Brown will be on the field, and I think he'll be decent enough in a 4-3.
Gets that at too.
So, and then
DB, Jalen Ramsey, AJ Bouye. Ooh, strong safety is a bit of an issue though. Same thing with free safety actually.
Ronnie Harrison at strong safety, Sean Davis at free safety. Yeah.
Probably wants to see how his how people develop here. And reassess things after the season.
You probably look at Ben DeLuca first. See if you can get a little bit out of him. And then don't know. Maybe same with Evan Foster. I mean, Evan Foster is star dev. Evan Foster's star dev. Did he come in this year? Dax. Did we do this right? I actually, I do think Evan Foster was supposed to be
He's probably
star.
not watching. We'll see.
I do think Evan Foster is supposed to be star. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I'm not.
Yeah.
But still a very good defense. Gonna be a team that more than likely the defense carries to a certain extent, kind of like Houston.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it's a wait and see on both Houston and Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, Houston is kind of a toss-up because it's a new user. We don't know how good he is, but Jacksonville, we know he has to rely on his defense.
Yeah.
He's decent passing the ball on an offense, but and he hasn't really had a good quarterback yet to prove he can be good on offense. So this is definitely like a prove-it year for him. We'll see.
Yeah. And then speaking of new users, Tennessee, the Vikings user comes over to Tennessee.
Yes.
And he inherits not a terrible roster, but still a pretty, not terrible, not great, not terrible.
Yeah, Mariota's still the quarterback.
You've got a pretty damn good line. If I do say so myself, your tackles are outstanding.
Oh, yeah. 85 and 83. Probably the best duo in the league right there.
Maybe your guards aren't amazing, but I think your exterior makes up for the fact that your interior is average.
And they're not even that bad.
Yeah.
A lot of teams have like a starter in the 60s. Their lowest starter is 73, so not bad at all.
And Mariota, I think this is his year to develop into a good passer.
I don't know about that.
Quick. I think we could.
Mariota's gonna be Mariota. He's not gonna carry your team, but he's good. He's decent.
This is a user that made Kirk Cousins look good. So.
True.
So I mean, wait and see. Running backs, you're set at running back. You got Deion Lewis and Derrick Henry. Plus, I mean, you had Amir Abdullah and Trey Mason as backups. Wide receiver, maybe a little bit of work there.
Corey Davis, yeah, I mean, Corey Davis is your only really good receiver there. You got some depth guys behind him, but Delaney Walker is gone.
And then that's about
it. Yeah. So he really needs some weapons too.
Yeah, then on the D-line, you go and get Ezekiel Ansah.
Terrell Casey, Harold Landry, really good D-line.
Yeah. Then
edge rush though, it's gonna be a bit of a concern. I mean, he's got Jamie Collins. Actually, I didn't see that. He's a 4-3 now. Did everyone switch to a 4-3? I'm pretty sure he's still a 3-4.
I mean, personally, I would use 4-3. I'm on board with Marcus. I don't know why anyone would want to use 34 over 43. I don't like the idea of regularly.
Well, Marcus said that 3-4s work, but it's a lot easier to have a good defense of a 4-3.
Yeah, in the words of Marcus, you shouldn't be dropping an edge rusher constantly into coverage. I personally agree with that. But going on to linebackers, you've got Devondre Campbell.
Well, yeah, this is what I was talking about with the edge, because I'm pretty sure he's a 3-4, especially based with how many people he has at. Like, he's got 3 ends. So, other than Jamie Collins, it's not like a good edge rush. Rashad Evans didn't develop under bad vibes. So,
your best linebackers are Evans and Martinez. Like, your best true linebackers.
I'm sure Wealthy Muffins, the Titans user, can develop him.
Yeah.
But
your DBs, you're set at DB. You've got Adoree Jackson, you've got Janoris Jenkins now, you've got Malcolm Butler, then you still got Kevin Byard.
Yeah, it's a great secondary.
I mean, maybe you worry about strong safety, but I think you're set at just about every other DB position that you can be kind of weak at strong safety and be perfectly fine. Worst case scenario, move Butler. move Butler up to safety whenever it's not a three-corner team, and you're fine.
Yeah. So, with that, we are done with the AFC, and it is time for our playoff predictions. Who do you say wins the AFC North?
The AFC North, ooh, starting off with a tough one. I think this is one that's anyone's race. My money's on Cleveland, personally. I think...
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Cleveland, too.
I think Cincinnati is going to do good. I think they probably get second, just barely over the Ravens. I think the Ravens still having to rely on Lamar Jackson is going to really hurt them.
Yeah, he struggled last year. We'll see how, though.
Especially not having really any receivers to throw to, and a quarterback that can't throw. You're going to get hurt. And I'm just not ready to buy into the Steelers just yet. I'm not saying the Steelers can't do good. I'm just not ready to buy in. So I think Cleveland wins this one. And if Cleveland wins this one, I think they more than likely end up being... I think your top two seeds right now come out of the North and the West. I think they could also end up being third and fourth, just because of how tough those divisions are. Can you hear me?
Crap, I forgot I had to push the talk on. This to answer your question, Little Shadow, 3-4 is much better at stopping the run, but it's passing league.
Yeah.
So, again, 3-4s can work, but 4-3s are just... It's way easier to have a good defense when you're 4-3, and they're much better at stopping the pass. But anyways, moving on to the next division. AFC South will do? Yeah, AFC
right,
South.
Let's go into the South. Colts.
Easy pick here, Denver.
Oh, okay, we went to the West. You said the South.
Did I say South?
You did say South. Alright, let's go ahead to the AFC West then.
Yeah, Denver, easy.
I don't think it's that easy, personally.
Really?
I
doubt. Doubt in the Super Bowl champion and defending AFC champion.
I have a bit of doubt because I've seen a lot of upgrades from Oakland. I'm not saying taking anything away from Kansas City. I think Kansas City's defense is what's going to hurt them and keep them from being able to do anything. I think worst case scenario for Oakland, they're a wild card team. Worst case scenario, absolute worst. I think this is your year, if you're Oakland, that you are able to at least put more pressure on Denver. And
wow,
I mean,
our first hot take of the night.
Denver does not have an easy schedule at all. Like Oakland, they got what, third? They got third, right? Last year.
Yes,
in the
they have
AFC
a
West.
much easier schedule.
They play Buffalo, they play Baltimore, and they play, I believe, Tennessee. No, they don't play Tennessee. Jacksonville. That's who they play in the South. Whereas if you're Denver, you're playing Houston, Cleveland, a Cleveland team who has been very close to you the last 2 years, and New York. Hot take. Yeah. Hot take right now. Oakland wins the West.
Wow. All right. Moving on to the AFC South. Actually, this time.
Yeah. Actually, the South. I'm
gonna pick the Colts to win this.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Colts too.
Yeah.
I think that pass rush is a bit suspect, but I think you've got enough help in the back end to kind of keep these QBs having enough problems to where that pass rush can still get there. It's not the most amazing pass rush in the league, but it's still a very good one. As far as when your secondary is that good, they don't have to have an amazing pass rush. Personally. So I think the Colts take
I feel like that will be the one thing holding them back, but I think Denver is not Denver. Dax is by far the best user in this division.
I do see just about every team here taking a huge step forward from last year. I think even the Texans. Everyone thinks that
Yeah.
everyone
Well,
thinks
we'll
that Luck
see.
isn't quite what
I just
Ice
can't
was.
really buy into the Texans because A, new user, and B, probably the worst line in the league. So
This is true,
we'll see.
but against a Kansas City team, you did at least keep it close in your very first game, and it was a playoff game. So
Hmm.
I think that over an entire season, I think the Texans get better. I think the Titans get better. I think the Jags get better. But as of right now, I think that Indy is the most complete team.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I'm gonna have to go with Indy there.
All right. Then moving on to the AFC East, the final division. I mean, I'm going to be a little biased here, but I'm going to pick myself to win that division with the Dolphins blowing everything up and with the Patriots having Will Greer as their quarterback. um, it's honestly, to be honest, it's a coin flip between me and Jets. I have his number, but I feel like he's the better overall user, so we'll see.
Yeah. Right now, the AFC East, once again, I think it's a three-horse race. Last year it was a three-horse race with the Dolphins being the third. I think the Patriots become the third. I think they've got good enough weapons, and I think they've got good enough defense to hold up the fact that Will Greer is your quarterback. I think we at least don't see an 8-8. I think we at least
you're
don't
entitled to your opinion, even though it's wrong.
I think at least we don't see an 8-8 team come out this time. I think whoever wins the AFC East will actually, have a winning record and not be 8-8. But my gut says don't bet against New England, but I'm gonna bet against New England. I think the Jets take it in a close one, and I think the Jets take it in a close one, and it might even come down to tiebreakers.
Just like last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then for the wild cards, I'm going to say Oakland and probably Kansas City. Yeah, Oakland and Kansas City as the wild cards. Maybe Jets. Actually, no, scratch that. I say Jets, Oakland as the wild cards.
I think with my pick, obviously, you gotta go with Denver as one of them.
Yeah, I would have major issues if you didn't have Denver as a playoff team.
Yeah. My gut wants to say Cincinnati. They've got too tough of a schedule, though, in my opinion. You've got Cincinnati has to play Denver, Cincinnati has to play the Jets, and Cincinnati gets to play the Texans. But that's still a tough game. I'm not buying into Kansas City just quite yet. I think they are probably the best team left standing, so I think that they do make playoffs again. But I'm not ready to quite buy into the fact that they could make a Super Bowl run.
I didn't say Super Bowl. I just said wild card.
Well, yeah. I think that they can make it in as a wild card team, mainly because you're what? Well, they got second last year, right? You get to play Miami, so whoever's second in the division, whoever gets to be second, like that's another plus for Cleveland. Cleveland gets to play Miami. Kansas City does play Cleveland as well, as do if they both play the Titans. So I think Kansas City gets in. It'll probably be another close wild card race.
Oh, definitely. The AFC is stacked.
Yeah. I think that your two wild cards, though, with my personal picks, obviously being Oakland to take the West, Denver takes wild card spot 1, and Kansas City takes wild card spot 2.
I mean, fair enough. All right. It's getting late, and we don't have that many people watching anymore, so I say we call it here.
We do the
NFC
tomorrow.
We can
come back to this tomorrow with
Yeah.
NFC predictions, which I think personally, I think NFC just got way better this year. Minus the East, you can scratch the East. The East is still a two-horse race, but I think.
I don't know. The NFC lost Vikings user, like, I don't know.
I think this new Vikings user could be good. I think this new Bears user is much better. The NFC South is still stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, well,
and I think the Rams
we'll see.
might be able to do good. Who knows? But we'll talk about that, all of that tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
So stay tuned to that. Will probably be happening. What time are you good for? We could go ahead and make that time on stream. Cause...
I probably am not good to commit to a time right now.
Okay.
Tuesday is my busiest day of the week, so.
Well, if it's early, then it'll be. It probably won't be because I don't know when your classes are. If it's early, it'll more than likely be somewhere around 1 to 3 Eastern, because that's between when I get off class and whenever I have to go to work. If that doesn't happen though, sometime after 9 p.m. Eastern time, will more than likely be whenever we go over the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
But stay tuned, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Click the bell. Merch.
No, we don't have any merch.
We could get some.
I'm not that vested in this.
Like merch. Smash merch.
Smash the like button.
2 million likes! But no. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, and we will see you all in the next podcast.